Hi everyone. I decided to do this short video to give you some examples of cover letters that were poorly written to help you to have examples of what not to do as you are creating your own PowerPoint. So overall, make sure that your cover letter is one that will stand out from all the other cover letters. I've sat in on many interviews. I have reviewed tons of resumes and cover letters, sat on interview panels, and I can tell you, because there are so many applicants, typically the cover letters are skimmed. While I did my best to try to read through all of them, when there was a particular job that had maybe 80 candidates applying for it, there's no time to read each individual cover letter. So I skimmed through them to pick out keywords that go along with the job that the person is applying for. Your experience is going to be the most important part of your application, and your cover letter is really a place to make that shine. So the first example here is Debbie Job Hunter is applying for a job, and she starts it out with, "To whom it may concern, I read your ad for the assistant position and would like to apply. As my resume shows you, I have a lot of great experience that you can use. And in my honest opinion, this job is exactly what I want. Please review my resume and call me soon to schedule an interview. I am so eager to meet you. Hope to see you soon." Okay, so just looking at this, hopefully one of the things that stands out to you the biggest is she's using texting lingo. IMHO and CU, those have no place in the business world, not in an email, not in a cover letter, not in a resume. If this is something that you for a minute think that you can get away with, at least in an email, please don't do it. I get emails from students who have these types of things in them. And you want to present yourself as a professional. Even if you're a student, you're still a professional because you're training to be a professional. So stay away from the texting lingo. Also, don't start it out with "to whom it may concern." Do your research and find out who's the hiring person, who's in charge of human resources. If you can't find it out, at least start it out with "Dear hiring manager" or "Dear human resources personnel," something besides "to whom it may concern." It shows that you've not really done any research and that you may be applying for the job off the cuff. Next, you really need to show why you fit or help them see why you fit the job and what you can do for them. And as you see in this letter, she's really just talking about it's the job that she wants, but she's not giving them anything about what she can bring to the table. So you want to sell yourself hard in your cover letter and in your resume. And also in this cover letter, suppose I wanted to interview Debbie. Guys, see, she's got a lot of enthusiasm with all those exclamation points, which is another no. I don't know a way to contact her. If her resume got separated from her cover letter, I don't have her contact information. So make sure on your cover letter that you put your information of how they can reach you. So that's example number 1. All right, so sample cover letter number 2, Debbie Job Hunter again, and I'm not going to read this one out loud. I'm going to give you about a minute to read through it yourself. Okay, so in this example, Debbie did go ahead and include her contact information, the phone number where they could reach her at, so that is good. But what did you notice when you read through this cover letter? Debbie is pointing out why the job is right for her. She's not talking about why she is right for the employer. Because remember, when you send in a cover letter, the employer has posted a job because they are looking for the right person for that company. They're not looking for someone who found a job that's great for them. The company needs someone that they're going to be compatible with, but that person's compatible back with them in the job also. So she needs to elaborate more on why she is the right fit for them. I always like to tell students, and I remember this when I'm doing my own cover letters. You're in a pool of candidates, so you really need to shine. You need to have a better cover letter than the next person. You need to have a better resume than the other person. Always be the best. So again, this one, she's not really told the hiring manager why she's right for this job. And if I received this cover letter, I absolutely would not recommend her for an interview. Just based on the fact that she's just talking about herself, not really talking about the company. All right, so sample cover letter number 3. Again, I'm going to give you about a minute to read through it yourself, and then I'll discuss it. Okay, so in this example, Debbie's getting better with her cover letters. She's made an effort to come up with things that an employer might like, but she doesn't really connect the dots for her employer. So she really needs to clearly list out 4 or 5 skills and accomplishments that directly point to the job that she is applying for. So she's applying for the junior business process analyst job. Has she analyzed things? If she has, she needs to include that in her cover letter. Has she prepared reports or done diagrams or presentations? When she worked on the process for improvement that she discussed, what exactly did she make happen? If you worked on a project and if I read this, I don't know if her part was bringing pencils to the table for everyone to write with, or if she was spearheading the whole project. So she needs to be specific on that. When you write a cover letter, make sure that you use the job description to help you isolate the key things that you have done or skills that you already have that the employer is asking for. So if the employer says you need to be proficient in Microsoft Word, well, you can list some examples that demonstrate how you're proficient in Microsoft Word. Have you taken classes that included Microsoft Word? Have you used it in any previous jobs? And how well? And then how good is your proficiency? Is it, intermediate, or are you an expert at it? Your cover letter is a great place to help the employer see the connection, especially if it isn't obvious. So many of you, once you graduate, you may be applying for jobs, and it might be the first job in the field of criminal justice for you. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, how in the world am I going to demonstrate the skills that they want when I haven't had any of the experience? Because I always say, to get experience, someone's got to give you a chance. Use your cover letter to pinpoint things that you have done either on a volunteer basis or previous job or even in school, that demonstrate the things that the department that you're applying for that particular job that they're asking for. If they say you have to be good with time management or working well with others, give examples, even if it's not related to law enforcement or any criminal justice field. If you're in school and you've been a part of the Student Government Association, list that out. What you did there, how you used time management to help you balance school and that, how you took charge and held a leadership role. Employers are always looking for someone who is willing and capable of stepping up with critical thinking skills and leadership abilities to where they know they can turn that person loose and that employee is going to do the exact job they asked them to do and will go above and beyond. All right, so example number 4 is really long, so I'm going to give you about a minute and a half to read through this, and then I'll come back. Alrighty, so this was a pretty lengthy cover letter, but what do you notice about it? She's telling her life story. Employers don't want to know your life story. They just want to know why you're a good match for the job that they have open. So don't share all those details. They don't need to know it when they ask you in an interview to tell me about yourself. That is also not the time to tell how you grew up in Beaufort County or Pitt County or wherever you're from, and that you have 2 dogs and a horse and a companion and 4 kids. It doesn't matter. They don't need to know that information. What they want to know when they're asking you about yourself is they want to know the skills that you have that make you a good fit for the job. So going back to her sample or her example here, you can include a sentence or two about, she's applying for this environmental projects coordinator job and she's very acclimated to the outdoor life. She might can include a sentence or two about that, but then she really needs to focus on why she's a good match for the job, any skills that she's acquired over the years and that she's used, accomplishments that directly relate to showing why she would be a great fit. And then lastly, you really need to keep it respectfully short. Your cover letter should definitely be no more than 1 page. It should all fit on the same page, but it doesn't have to take up the whole space. The last cover letter I wrote is for the job that I'm in now, and I did not take up the whole page. I concisely put down what I felt like that I could bring to the table, and I'm going to post that in the course for you guys to look at to help you as you write your cover letter. As you write it, again, I want you to use the resources that are out there that I've posted for you in the course, the information you've learned through this PowerPoint, and then write your cover letter, and you're going to submit it through a discussion board to have someone else critique it. So for the first part, when you're critiquing it, I want you to be honest with the person as if you're an employer, And then lastly, if you're on the receiving end of any criticism, it's constructive criticism, it's constructive feedback. It's not designed to hurt anyone's feelings or to make you feel like you've done terrible work. It's to give you feedback that's going to help you. You want to hear anything that might be missing from your cover letter. You want to hear it in this classroom rather than from an employer when they tell you why they didn't call you or why they didn't hire you. It's going to hurt your feelings more if you hear it from an employer. So again, I've written terrible cover letters before myself. I went through a period where I had quit one job because I needed to take care of some things with my family. And then when I was ready to go back to work, I applied for many jobs. Sometimes I didn't get a call. Most of the time, I didn't get a phone call. And it happens. It happens to people with experience and without experience. So don't let that stuff hurt your feelings, but just know that you're going to have to fight for, not literally fight, but you're going to have to compete with other people for any job that you want. So hopefully this has been beneficial for you. And I am here to help you. If you need help, you can reach out to me and I'll be glad to provide you some feedback.